Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. In today's video, I'm a bit late on this one, but we're doing all the active codes for June 2023. And in editing, we're going to do wishlist as well. Now, I like to do this every month, going through all the active codes for new players coming into the game or people re-rolling. There is no new code today. This is just one that I always do. So it's actually a really good time to start an alt account or start the game if you want to, because there is a ton of free stuff in these codes. As you can see on screen, we've got a bunch, but all these codes will be left in the description along with the website on where you got to go to redeem them, because it is a bit of a process. So let's start off with the process. I like to do this every time because I know some people know, but newer players always appreciate this. So we're going to go here and we're going to go into details of our ID, and you can see up the top there I've got my ID number. Now I'm going to go to this website. Once again, the link to this will be in the description, and we're going to type in 1535. Dude, I can't see that from here. 88989, I think. Dude, my eyes are sketch on that. And then we get the verification code. We're going to come over here, and it's a unique one. It lasts for 2 minutes. You're going to enter that in 449711 for me, and I hit login, and now I'm logged in successfully, which is exactly what we were hoping for. Now you can just go ahead and enter in all these codes. If there's any that don't work, I will remove them, but I'm pretty sure all of these are still working. We've got some really good ones from the anniversary and stuff. So like I said, a ton of goodies, and you'll see them when we jump into the game. Now, if you're putting in the codes in too quickly, it'll give you the frequent limit error, but then you just wait a minute and then go. The only time you know it doesn't work is if it gives you an error that says invalid or expired, and then you go, okay, see the frequency limit? Doesn't matter, you just wait a second, then you go again. You can do this on your phone as well. It's a bit more tedious on your phone because you got to tab out and stuff, but it's still very much doable. I prefer doing it on the PC myself. Redeem. And like you can have the game open on your phone and just do the website and the codes on your phone, so that's not too bad. All right, let's go. 2 more. Whoop. And we'll also go through the wish list as well. Come on. It must have gone through. Oh wait, I didn't paste it. My bad. So did I already do that one? I'm pretty sure that one worked. If it didn't, rip. I was trying to go too fast. Anyway, you guys get the gist. Let's jump in here. Let's take a look, and we're going to go ahead and bounce over, collect them all from the mail, which is loading. Still loading. There we go. Perfect. Yoink. As you can see, plenty of goodies coming in there. What do we got? You can't use the time gazers yet, but we got 30, we got 10, we got 5, and we got a bunch of diamonds and a bunch of resources, which on new count, those resources really boost your progress and get you more summons quickly. Just realized the game had shrunk. No idea why, but hey, these things happen. It's all good. So let's jump in. And let's go through all the other stuff you can get if you are re-rolling count. You can get the free recalling, but you can come over here, soldier supplies, get some there. You got boot camp, but no one really cares about boot camp. You can also get all the splash screen rewards, which I can't be bothered, but you can click through all these splash screens and you can get all those diamonds. There's a ton of them now with all the splash screens, and they're each 100, so that's not too bad to get some extras. You go to your quests, you get all your quests from here, and get all those ones as well, and you're pretty set up. The other thing you can do is you can go into each of your characters as well. And you can go ahead and claim them, and you can do that after your initial summons. You just go to story, collect that, and you can get all those extra diamonds as well for summons. But once again, we're not too stressed. Let's jump into the wish list and take a look at my general, and this is very general. You can fine tune a wish list depending on what you want, but I like just going through my feels on it as we get to as the months go by. So let's jump into light bearers first of all. So light bearers for me, the staples are pretty much you, which is Scarlet. We got Rowan as well. And then from there, you can flex around. I think Palmer's pretty much a staple at this point. Besides that, you can really flex around. I actually do like a Sonya. She's useful in PvP later on. She's really good in the early game. So she's one of these units that has early and late value. And then I like to go with Rosaline as well, because she is good in that early game. If you just get one copy of her, put her on for bosses, it can increase your damage, get you some more rewards. Rain is another option. I see some people go with. Some people go with Estrilda as well. Besides that, those are probably the main ones we look at. I've seen some. I used to do Morrow, but not anymore. I don't find him needed as much anymore in the early game. Then we go on to Maulers. Now, Maulers, to me, Chicken is pretty much the... and Nasta. They're the two I always put on. I just think those two are really great. Kren becomes great later on, so he's not a bad one to start picking up copies of. Honestly, all of these guys is for later on. Then Maulers are pretty poor early game. I would also put Screg, so you can start working towards those Screg copies, and maybe a new Misu. But honestly, Maulers is really flexible. You can put a Brutus in to get a single copy because he's got, you know, that invincibility. But I find by the time you get the time extension to make it like a 6 or 7 second invincibility, you get a free copy from clearing campaign stages. So that's where I would put my wish list currently, personally. Then we go on to the Wilders. For me, this one's a tough one because there's so many good units. Mishka, to me, is a no-brainer. She's just amazing. Raku's one you can get copies of for later on in the game. He's kind of like Kren, becomes good later on, especially once you get 30 signature item. Astara is an absolute beast in the early game. She falls off later game, but she's an absolute savage. You got different things like Iron's useful, Leica's useful, Tassie's useful. All of those units, Pip is also useful, but I like putting Navanthi in there, getting that extra sustain. I think she's a great one and she's useful to have copies for in the future. And then another tech unit that I really like is Floppy. I can't remember his actual name because I just always call him Floppy. He's handy. Spearboy is actually pretty decent early game as well, but you can really flex this around. Like I said, there's a ton of good options here. For me personally, I'd probably look at something like this in general. But before I do that, what I would also consider doing is I like getting one copy of Leica at least, and then you can swap her out. You can also get a copy of Lawson because he's good for the link. You can swap him out. Once you get one, you can get a copy of Pippa, swap her out, and then yeah, I'd probably settle around here. But there's so many useful Wilders, especially in the early game, so definitely worth swapping them around just to get that one copy. And Graveborn is quite similar. We've got Damon, who's the best standard carry in the game. We've got Odin, who's an absolute savage. Silas, who's an absolute savage. Like, best healer in the early chapters, in my opinion, is Silas. Odin's just a crazy support the whole game. I love getting a copy of Pharrell as well, just for the fears, and also Nara, but those two you don't have to get a ton of copies early on. The other thing you can go for is Thorin, who becomes great later on for Thorin Cheese, but I'm not a fan of that type of gameplay. It's a really finicky gameplay to me. Grizzle's fantastic. He's just great everywhere in the game, so he's another great one to get some copies for. So you could probably go something like this, and that would be a pretty safe wish list at the moment. So with all that out of the way, let's just pop the summons that we got on this account and see what we end up pulling. Your first 10 pull is guaranteed to have a purple in it, so let's go ahead and check. Boom. Oh, also on top of that, Scarlet, okay. On top of that, you can Facebook share after you get a purple, and you can get extras, but it just always bugs out for me. Also, the first time you do a single, it will be a purple. So if I do a single right now, it is guaranteed to be a purple. However, it is going to be off what the wish list was before I adjusted it. So if you get something not on your wish list, that's the only reason why. It's because this one single, which is like meant to be the tutorial single, obeys the original wish list that the game had, even if you have changed it. It's a very weird thing because new players don't get to save it. There's a weird mechanic in there, but just if you're doing it on a rerolled account, because new accounts don't get into that situation because you're forced to do your single summon earlier. All right, let's go again. One more. So we should have guaranteed here. So this is what I would call a pretty poor summon session because we're only getting it on the guaranteed pulls, which you want to get more than that. But there we go. We got a star. We can jump into these and keep going. Boom. Okay, that's not too bad. Got a back-to-back. We'll take it. There's a Rosaline, but this account is definitely lacking a carry if we were going to play it for the purpose of an actual account. And I'll go through one thing quickly as well for those who do it. I'm not going to do the 9 singles. Actually, you know what, let's just do it for the lols. Let's just see. And then if you get an account and you got like a really good supporting roster and you like the account, you want to keep going on it, but you didn't get a unit that's a viable carry, you can always go ahead and use the Wukong that we get for free. He's good up to level 100, and then you run out of copies of him and he can't level anymore. So that's when he starts to fall off. So there we go. We got an Anasta as well. Pretty average account, this one. But like I said, you can always go to this event here. All you got to do is share. You don't actually have to share it. You just got to click it. Like I can probably click this. It won't go to anything because I didn't realize I had my Facebook on this instance. Yeah, but you can do that. You don't have to actually share it. You just close the Facebook or whatever it is. Then you hit collect. You can get your Wukong, and then you can use him as your early game carry. But like I said, he does fall off really, really quickly by not having dupes, and he's really not that great later game either, so it's actually really average. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it. That's all the codes. That's my wish list at the moment in the game. Like I said, pretty good time. Got a ton of summons in those rerolls if you want to do it. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.